Mr. Brindisi, you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman and Ranking Member, and thank you all, the panel, for your service to our nation's veterans. First off, I do want to add my voice to those who are calling for the VA to add additional diseases to the presumptive list for service connection based on Agent Orange exposure. But Secretary Wilkie, I wanted to ask you a question because last week the Undersecretary for Memorial Affairs, Randy Reeves, came to my district at my invitation to discuss the creation of a state veterans cemetery in New York. As you know, New York is one of the few states left that does not have a state veterans cemetery. So I appreciate him coming, and the district I represent in particular has about 56,000 veterans right now who are underserved by a state veterans cemetery or access to any veterans cemetery, national or state. We had a good meeting, and he, at that time, Undersecretary Reeves informed us that expansion projects are a top priority for them, and then the NCA works through new construction grants which meet the statutory requirements. I just want to ask, is your budget request enough to meet the needs of all top priority sites, both expansions and new constructions?
For the top priority sites that we have, and some of those are in New York, some are as far away as Utah and Wyoming, yes. I actually had this discussion with Leader Schumer about the concept of the cemetery in your district. We're going to make sure that the state of New York has every access to the grants that we give to help states on that. And you're right, that many veterans, it is a gaping hole in service.
Thank you. And I want to put a plug in for Undersecretary Reeves. He really has done a great job, and I could think of no person I'd rather see overseeing that program than him. He was fantastic when he came up to the district, so thank you for having him come up. I also want to ask Secretary about state veteran home construction grants. Your proposed budget includes level funding for state veteran home construction grants, and we have one such home in my district in Oxford, New York. I understand there's been a backlog of state grant requests, and Congress appropriated additional funds to address this backlog in fiscal years 2018 and 2019. Can you tell us what this backlog looks like now and how many of these grant requests already have state matching funds lined up?
I will have to get back with you on that. Oh, no. Oh, John.
Yeah, so I think you know in 2018 we received a plus up that pretty much brought the new construction backlog down. It was to about 70 million. We do have sort of a static request now. Most of the, so I think the backlog is going up from about 90 million to about a little, right around 300 million, but most of that is for renovation, not for new construction. I think we eliminated most of the construction with the plus up, so that's sort of where we are today.
Okay.
Yep.
If I could
Dr.
add, sir, we have 154 state veterans homes that we're in partnership with. The Association of State Directors was in town here this week. We've been talking to them and discussing what the future is. We know that over age 75, there are 2 million veterans today. That will grow in the next decade to 3 million. We need the 20,000 beds that are in the state homes. We need to expand that. We have in our chronic living facilities about 45,000 beds. We need much more than that. And what you will see from us over the next 6 to 12 months is a development of an elder care strategic plan and a cognitive decline strategic plan that really begins to garner how to approach this. This also ties into the rollout of the caregiver program because most of those veterans would rather stay at home if they possibly could, and it's why all of this fits together.
Are you studying where across the country the needs are right now?
Yes, we are. As part of the Air Commission, we've taken a look at where the demand is. And one of the things we recognize, in spite of the very significant decline in veterans in the Northeast and the Northwest, those that are staying are substantially challenged and are engaging with us at remarkable rates.
Is that something that when you have the conclusions of those results, can you share that with us?
They will come here, yes.
Okay. All right. And then just finally, Dr. Stone, again, thank you for coming up to the district to visit the clinic in Bainbridge, New York. I appreciate your concern with service to rural veterans. And just want to talk just generally about the budget. And do you think there's enough in there right now to address the needs of veterans who are living in rural areas? What more can we be doing?
I think there's enough in here, and we're comfortable with the budget. The movement of veterans has got to be tackled in the Air Commission. And you and I have had this discussion as we wandered around that great town of Bainbridge and met its citizens. And I appreciate the time you spent and your passion for this. But how we approach the future laydown of this system is going to require a recognition of the evolution of how we deliver health care in America. You know, we've grown to 2.6 million telephonic or face-to-face video visits last year. About 20% of our veterans will be working off of video visits, and they have some of the highest satisfaction rates of any of our visits. So I appreciate the ongoing dialogue that you and I are having on this. I'm not sure we're going to come to complete agreement, but we both want the same thing, and that is the care of the American veteran.
And I would give one more statistics. In FY19, more than 900,000 veterans had at least one episode of telehealth care. I hope that's bigger, that grows. I will tell you, my focus has been on rural and native populations. They serve in numbers greater than any other communities in the country.
Thank you all very much.